So it's time for our next video. This time we will make the second barrel ready for soldering. Especially I didn't make the octagon until now and the transition area from octagon to round. So a little work is waiting. So let's go. So that's also very close. So now some more sides. So the octagon on the second barrel is done. Next one is the drawfiling. But before that, I will show you a nice trick how to make a proper, I would say a proper surface with the angle grinder. So let's go. So you see, I have not a cutting disc, a grinding disc, a new one. That's really vital. That's a new one, because when you have a used one, mostly the edges are no longer straight. This surface is no longer straight. So it's useful to have a new disc. Then the next thing is the barrel shall be in water level. When you grind down, then all the time going forward and backwards, and not grind it in one row, because then you go down not straightly maybe, or you make a curve. So grind apart, then measuring with calipers, and then make the next part. And I will show you with a closer view. You can see what I did. I put a part of a water level on the angle grinder. So the water level in top has the exact angle of the surface of the grinding disc. So during grinding I can control if I'm tilting the angle grinder or not. Because without, at the beginning it's possible, but after some time of grinding the hands start shaking because of the vibration, and then you go down or up, and then it's no longer so easy to keep the angle grinder in level. So like this you can control all the time that the angle grinder has the right level. The next thing is that you need a water level measurement, including angle adjustment. So you can take care that the surfaces, one moment, I will readjust the camera. So like this, you can check if you have 45 degrees in reference to water level. So you can see you have a red line . A red line for water level and the yellow arrow with a red line for the actual position. And you can adjust the angle on the front side. So this is pretty much helpful to adjust the water level. And for sure, to check if the 90 degrees angles are right, it's useful to have angle for checking surfaces. So if there is closely no light coming through, then the angle is okay. That works with a bigger one as well, but for small surfaces this is much better. And that's really old, that's about 40 years old. So, and the last thing you will need are good calibers for measuring. So, as you can see, our target was 24 millimeters and we are on 24.05. That's really good for just grinding. The next thing to check is the straightness. That's the same. You take a lineal and check with the light that comes through if the octagon is straight or not. So like this, it should be perfect. And this is the water level I used for the angle grinder to bring it into the right level. That's a very useful little thing, but that will work with any inlet of water level. So our job now is to make the draw filing. I use a file cut number 3, that's rather fine, and I take care that I all the time cleaning the file with a file brush. Right. You just let it run with the cut direction of the file. And I mostly use the first 5 centimeters or 2 inch, because there the file has seen the, like on front, the most less work, so the teeth are sharp anyhow. And then we are filing along the barrel with long strokes. And you see the file getting dirty. One more thing is the difference between grinding with angle grinder and drawfiling is on the angle grinder you have always the risk that you cut down the ends, because at the ends it takes off more material, so you have to take care that the surface is straight and you take an equal material on the whole length. And with drawfiling, there is all the time the risk that you take more material in the middle than on the ends. Because on the middle you make long strokes and then at the end you change direction. So at the end you don't take enough material. So we have to take extra care for both ends to get rid of the markings from grinding. So when one surface is done, we go with a file and break the edge. We don't want to make a bevel. We just take off the sharp edge. And all the time cleaning the file. So the drawfiling on the second barrel is done. The first barrel we done some months ago. So here you can see first view how the barrels will look when they are together. You can see here that we put both ends on one level, but here for the position of the wedding band we have a little deviation, but the deviation is on both wedding bands equal, so we can just shift the barrels equal and it will work nicely. And we will cut one barrel on the breech end and one barrel on the muzzle end. So we will cut here the first barrel and cut here the second barrel. So both barrels are on one length. And the transition area, the wedding bands meet each other here on the transition and here on the transition from one diameter to the smaller diameter with the wedding band. They will meet each other equally. So next will be the cutting of the barrels, and we need to make the transition area for the second barrel from octagon to round, and then it's time for soldering. So I think that's all for now. Until next time.